All right. Let's get it.
All right, let's get to this, man. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Lone Wolv Podcast. I'm your host, Wolfson, and today we got a special guest in the building. He is the one and only LazyFlex. Let's go.
Hey, yo, what's good?
What's good? What's good, man? Thank you for coming over to the show, man. It's been long overdue, man. After a while, you finally made it here, man.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry for the delay and stuff, but I'm glad to be here and I'm glad that you asked me to do this.
No, absolutely, man. I'm so excited, man. Before we get started, man, first things first, man. How are you? How are you?
I'm good, man. Just readjusting with things, considering like COVID and like personal things in my life that have occurred. But everything's good. I'm working on a lot of music. I'm working actually not just on dubstep, but on like hip hop and other experimental genres too. I've actually been dipping into like hardstyle too. I'm trying I'm trying to take this whole thing to like other genres, So like I just been producing a lot of music, I guess.
That's pretty dope, man. So you were actually just mainly focused as a dubstep producer, but now you just want to be a producer.
Yeah, an artist, like no limits.
No limits.
There's no fun with that,
That's dope. That's dope. So what actually prompted you to say, like, you know what, like, I don't want to just do dubstep, just only that. I want to experiment and do other stuff. I want to be branching out. Like, what actually prompted you to say, like, yeah, let's try other genres?
I feel like with every genre, in a weird way, like there's like a scene within that genre, right? And so you have different people within those genres. And I feel like meeting different people and like working with others and getting together and just seeing how other people work and like all that is really what makes it fun, Like I could like not fuck with the genre, sorry, pardon my French. But
hey, you can cuss out. You can cuss out here. It's okay.
Fuck.
That's right. Let's go. Fuck
yeah. Like I could not personally like a genre, but I'll sit with a producer and watch how they work and respect it, and then it'll grow on me and stuff, And so like I feel like just the whole collaborating with people and giving it a shot can be good and beneficial,
That's pretty cool. Very interesting take on it, And you hardly get to see that with many bass producers, Most of the time, like a lot of bass producers, they just want to stick with that one genre, and there's nothing wrong about that. But as an artist, don't you think it's best if you evolve from it? Like you can say one of the greatest out there has evolved from being a bass producer to now making Bieber songs, and that's fucking Skrillex,
Yeah.
Like we know this guy has been like the one of the godfathers of dubstep and make dubstep to what it is right now. And now he's like making all shits of music, like everything,
And so, like that's like something I really admire because, he started off making dubstep like a lot of us are, and he branched out into that pop world. But I feel like why do we have to like okay, put it this way, like I see it as like he started off with dubstep and it skyrocketed him, right? Just like you said, and now he's doing his pop stuff. But like why do we have to wait till we skyrocket to like experiment? Because like as a dubstep producer and producing, from my point of view, it's very technical, right? So we learn a lot of things that other producers probably wouldn't consider doing or whatever and stuff, right? So I feel like applying that technicality to other genres and that style can like bring a new wave of music, It's like imagine like, this is dumb, but like imagine like more like dubstep sounds manipulated in a way to where it works. Like I guess for example, you could say like the Eptic and Murata track, it has like a trap flow, but it's all like dubstep in a sense, I guess,
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, there's nothing wrong. And what you're doing is actually pretty dope, Like that's great. Like keep at it. If you want to feel like you want to explore other genres, go right ahead. Who the hell is out there telling you can't,
Yeah, exactly.
Like fuck them, Anybody who tells you like, nah, stick with dubstep, you're like, middle finger up, man. Middle finger up.
That's right. That's fucking right.
Yeah, no, bro, because like how back in the days, at least when I was starting up, there was always that little taboo thing that, like if you started as a dubstep producer, you had to stick as a dubstep producer. You can't fuck around with other genres. You can't do house music, or you can't do this and that. They'll call you a sellout. You weren't even part of it. And to me, I was like, why is that? Hey, why? Like, what's wrong with if somebody wants to try out other genres? Like, maybe it's not for me, and maybe the other songs that these other bass producers do, maybe it's not for me, and I don't like it. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna hate the person for trying to do something new. Like we said, like, he's evolving, and I like how the point of view that you're taking it is like, why do I have to wait until I'm already big to do all this stuff? Why can't I just do it right now? Fuck yeah, go ahead and do it right now.
Because it's like there's no guarantee that that's even gonna happen, So it's like it's like all about the music. That's what I'm saying. It's like just being able to have different grooves and like instead of just always. And I feel like a lot of producers do that, but they don't release a lot of
right,
their other like stuff. Like it would just be cool to see more dubstep artists branching out with other genres, because I know they're doing it. And it would just be dope. It'd be a cool vibe for the scene too. Like it would just be nice. It'd be nice taste.
I agree. That's why, like, when I was starting out, I always made sure that I never identify myself as the dubstep producer. I always tell everybody I'm just a bass producer. It's like, oh, what's bass? Is like, oh, I do dubstep, D&B, bass house, trap here and there. It's like, oh, so you just trap? They're like, no, bass. Like, I tackled the whole bass genre, like,
yeah, exactly.
And then when I DJ, like, I make sure that I basically do that whole storyline. Like, I want to make sure that there's a story behind my sets, and I can tackle all the genres that I want to play there.
Most definitely, yeah.
And now it's just like Wata, basically.
Yeah, it just flows.
Yeah, it just flows, And I always want to make sure, even though I do a lot of dubstep songs, but if you see my track record, I had some bass house in my system that had, a lot of trap songs. Imagine, like, we're talking about festival trap, that Carnival Jersey shit, like when back in 2016, 17, around there, when trap was on a rise on the EDM scene.
Yeah. Like that was like with like when Say My Name and all of them were like really, like, up there doing that shit. Yeah, that was a good time. That was fun. That was like I personally favored like the 2011 to 2013 era. I feel like there was a lot of gas coming out, and I think primarily I enjoyed it more because I wasn't producing at that time. And like like it's crazy, bro. Like I miss being a fan sometimes and just like going out. Like once you get into like making your own music, it's kind of hard to avoid trying to like analyze everything when you go out to shows, because you're like, as an artist, like you want to approach people properly. You want to like also see how shows are being thrown. So all that stuff. You take it into consideration because I don't know.
That's a very, very interesting take of you. Like, I've never heard that from any artist or producer that I've ever had a conversation with in the podcast. That's very interesting, like, and now that I think about it, like that era itself that you explain, I feel like that was like one of the best eras in not just in dubstep, but in EDM as a whole. Because I can name you, like, I was just like a big fan of EDM all around at that time. Was like, I could be like listening to dubstep, I could be listening to house, I could be listening to big room, drum and bass, and then Moomba on the other skin. Like, there were so many genres, Yeah,
Moomba was dope. I know people are probably gonna watch this and be like, man, like fuck all that, but like, dude, to be honest, sometimes you just want to go out and vibe.
Yeah.
Like not headbang or like, like listen to like angry shit. I love it. Don't get me wrong. Like I fucking love that shit, man. That's like my favorite shit. But like lately, me personally, I've just been like, yo, we need more vibes.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Last night I went to watch Small B and Modus at the Circle in Orange County,
Oh,
and they threw down a crazy ass set, and it was just a bunch of shit I never heard. I mean, obviously it was like all like dubstep and rhythm, but like that vibe brought me back. You know,
I feel you on that. The other, like, not too long ago, like probably like in 3 months ago, I was invited to a festival down here in South Florida, and it was one of those underground festivals. You know, the type of that, you know, since Miami's all house bass, you barely get to hear any bass music at all or anywhere. Like it doesn't exist anymore until these guys that I fuck with. You know, shout out to Underground Gardens, man. They invited me. I was, you know, one of their guests of honor in that festival. They treated me like VIP all around. Like it was amazing experience. Met a lot of cool locals in there. Met a lot of cool people from other places, and then I went to one of the people who started that festival. He was playing his own DJ set, and I stayed all the way from beginning to end, and I was like, damn, bro, I forgot what it was to just stand outside and just vibe with the music, you know, vibe with the DJ. You know, it's been a while since I've actually gone out there and just enjoy, bro. I don't even have to drink or anything. It's just all pleasure right there. It's just the fact that I'm seeing someone and playing some hit bangers and whatnot, and everybody's fucking with it. I'm just like, that's right, bro. That's right. Like it got me like, then I really miss this scene a lot. You know, I really miss it in some capacity. Do I ever want to go back again and DJ again? I wouldn't mind. I'll definitely fuck with it because DJ, I've been DJing for over 15 years, man. And DJing is like the only time in which I felt alive overall.
Oh yeah.
That there's just no explanation to why I feel like that. I just do, you know?
Yeah.
And I fuck with it a lot. So it's like, it's one of those moments is like, really want to go back again. But I love this game more than anything, you know?
Yeah. Me
and,
too,
and listening to people hearing those stories, it's a grand fulfillment for me, to be honest. So listening to this story that you're telling me right now it just, you know, it resonates with me a lot, you know, because it's that old saying, you never know what you got until you don't have it.
It's true. It's true, man. But I mean, like the scene nowadays isn't too bad. I feel like, I don't know, there was just something different back then. There's like a spark or something. You feel me? Like it wasn't. I feel like there was no like.
I feel it was like more pre social media era.
Yeah, for sure.
There wasn't that much hate as there is right now. You know,
Yeah,
like you can say like, oh, I hate this artist. All right, cool. You hate it. You don't have to listen to it. Nowadays, if you hate certain someone, you started to follow them all around and say, oh, he's a piece of shit and you're a piece of shit, and hateful comments all around. It's like, it's wow. Like the difference, you can see it right there. So I guess back then it was much more not sense of peaceful, but it was much more warm welcoming.
Yeah, it for sure was. And I feel like social media is just wild too, because it's like, why do you feel the need to put these negative opinions about something that brings people joy, you know? And it's just, you're just like ruining it for everyone, and you don't even know it, because like it's like you see a tweet and you see something and it's just like, oh, okay, whatever. But then it's like you remember that shit in the back of your mind somehow, because like that's just how it works, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I just feel like something fresh needs to happen to the whole scene. Like
I feel like it needs a fresh reboot.
Yeah, that's for sure. It needs a fresh reboot. Need to go back to like the 90s. Take it back, you know, like real fucking vibes.
Yeah, like back in those 90s, early 2000s, you know, a little bit earlier the 2010s. Yeah, that was definitely like a nice pace. If we can circle back again, I guess like my solution to that is kill social media altogether.
Dude, yeah. Just, yeah.
Because now social media has become like an addiction, whether you want to believe it or not. It's a must now. Like you must have social media. You must, progress in life by having social media. It's a must. You can't move on. You need the approval of social media to get all this shit. And I'm like, damn, bro, like this is some fucked up drug. Only it's virtually. And we consume that shit every day. We don't even realize it because obviously the dopamine side of you just get like a certified high grade of using that. Now I'm not here to just like bash social media altogether. I'm not saying that social media is bad altogether.
It's like sensory overload.
Yeah,
you have like multiple social platforms to flip through and shit. I don't know. You're right though. Fuck social media, dude.
Honestly, bro, like I've done the go one day without social media, man, and it feels amazing. Weird at first. Weird. It's definitely weird at first, but it feels amazing due to the fact it's like I don't have to check what's going on with the world. I don't have to like constantly check like if somebody approved me or not, or is like yada yada. Like I don't need that, and it wasn't easy either because there were times in which I pick up my phone and then I'm like, oh fuck, right, I gotta put it back, and then I pick it up without even thinking it. It's just it became automatically that I have to pick up the phone. That's what's wild. And I'm just like, dude, I can't believe I'm this programmed just to watch social media, man. Now I just have social media for either the memes or to DM other artists and having people over to the show and promote my show and promote my music, and that's as far as you're gonna see me. I don't do any of the selfie pose or any of the food, taking pictures, food, all that crap. I barely do stories. If I do stories, it's because I'm having a good time and I'm with with some artists and we're just kicking in it. But I don't do it just because like I want to be on the story all the time. I want people to see it, and even when I'm with artists, I don't even do that. Like unless they want to, like they'll do it. Like all right, well everybody's doing it, I'll pull it, whatever. But yeah, no man, the social media, no bueno, man, no bueno. Even though there's some good behind it, there's some I can't say that also
benefits.
Yeah, but I just feel that the loudest is the negatives, which just sucks, like it shouldn't be like that. We should be highlighting the most all the positive things that came about it, but the human brain tends to negativity in a way, and like you said, you just remember all the negative stuff. You just don't forget about it. I don't know why. I wish there's an answer for that, so that way we could just like take a pause for the cause. But
yeah, feel that
it is what it is, But hold on. So now that you're actually doing a bunch of music right now that you're actually exploring other genres, how often do you actually use social media to promote all your stuff? Are you very active, or you're just like as active as I wanna be?
As active as I want to be right now, because I'm just kind of stacking up music, and just like holding on to like a catalog before releasing anything. So usually what would happen is like I'll drop a song, I'll put a promo. That's as much as I do. Like I don't really go out and take pictures, like I don't really get pictures with people. I don't know why. Probably should,
But there's nothing wrong about it. I'm not doing it.
I feel like there are some things that just should be for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the only times I'll really post is if I'm like on my story, like, or if I go to a show and support the homies, and I'll do that. Or if I'm like chilling with a friend or something. I don't know. But it's pretty average how I use social media,
that's actually pretty good. And there's nothing wrong about that as well. And
I feel like I lack a lot because I feel like if you really know how to do that shit, it could be to your advantage. But it's all good. I'm not tripping.
If anybody's lacking, it's probably me, man. This guy, because like I said, I just post stuff for my podcast and for music, I don't really do heavy of that social media presence. I'm like the caveman, you know, like I once in a while I come out of the cave, do my shit, and I come back to the cave. that's
Feel that.
that's how I treat social media, you know, and maybe if I were a little bit more, you know, active on social media, I'm posting every day and putting video clips of my show out in all these social medias, then maybe I can get a lot more traction. Maybe I can actually get a lot more followers. But
Yeah.
I just like my mindset is not made for that. Like I do not like it at all. Like I would rather pay somebody
To run it for you.
to run it for me than me doing it on myself. Like
Yeah,
nah.
for sure.
Like I don't care how much I have to spend on money. People can say like, "Oh, that's a lot of money. You could have done that by yourself." It's like, yeah, I could have, and I could have learned how to do it. But my mindset is not made for that. I have a different, you know, vision. Like I want to focus on certain things, and me focusing on multiple things and gotta do all these things all at the same time. It's just I can't. Like I'll run out of fuse, you know? Like, hey, like I'm doing this show and I'm a one-man army, basically. Like I edit the shows, I conduct the interviews, I seek the interviews, you know, I seek you and your manager, I seek others as well. Yeah, I do all the talking. Like I also like do the like I said, the editing, the mastering, the uploading, the Photoshop, the thumbnails for every episode. Yeah, like I do all that shit. I do all that shit.
It's crazy because like artists and shit have to do all that.
Yeah.
Dumb. It's like, why can't we just focus on the music? Like, it's not dumb. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and like, you know, but I'm saying like as an artist, like I don't want to fucking graphic design.
Yeah.
I don't want to do all that shit. I just want to make music.
Yeah.
But it's not like that anymore. So
that's good. That's
I do respect the fact that you're not on social media a lot because that means you're more present in your life. I feel like, right?
Yeah, I'm very present with my fiance, with my family, my friends, and you know, like, and I like to be like that. I like to be like, and when I'm around with my fiance and my family friends, like, social media to me is off limits. Like, I shouldn't even pick up the phone to check on what's going on social media. Like, nah, my phone is not down. When I'm spending time with her, like, I see her once a week. We're trying to find a way to move in together, you know? And yeah, like I barely spend time with her. Like she works, you know, Sunday through Thursday. I work Monday through Friday. And we can only get to see that one day of the week. So it's like I don't want to spend my time with her by me being on the phone all the time. Like I wanna, you know, take my time and have that quality time with her, and not just her, with anyone else, you know. And yeah, like I mean, you may not look at it, but I'm definitely in my 30s, man, and I basically grew up when Facebook was in my high school days. So it's like I actually had social media right there as I was entering, you know, leaving high school, entering college, and see all the shenanigans, you know. So it's like I can be easily detached from that very, very quickly, you know.
Yeah, because you grew up in a different era for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I feel like I'm 27, so I feel like I'm on the cusp of that.
You're like in the middle, yeah.
It's like when I was in school, they were barely teaching us how to use computers, or like it was like getting a little bit more developed type shit, you know. Now it's just like crazy. Now you can bring now I pass by school, they're like, you have an iPad, bring it to class, or you have a laptop, bring it to class. It's like, motherfucker, you better write those notes.
Yo, for real, dog. Because I back then
we didn't do all this shit for nothing.
No, bro, I fucking write all those. Oh, and if I didn't write fast enough, fucking teacher will erase everything on the board. I'm like, fuck, bro, I didn't fit. Fuck. All right. I guess I'll take it for somebody. Oh, you missed it too. Oh, okay, great. We're fucked. You know. Yeah. And yo, bringing a laptop to school, it was like a luxury. They look at you like, oh, damn, you got money, huh? You got money.
They would have took my shit away.
Yeah.
Then I'd have to get it back.
Oh fuck, bro. Oh fuck. Yeah, bro. And I remember that earlier those days, like computer class wasn't like that big a deal. It was more like, you know, learn how to use Word, PowerPoint, Excel. That was basically like your big ups, you know. Oh, learn how to use web page. Nobody uses web page. Who gives a shit about web page? Oh, learn how to use the internet. Like internet is self-taught. Like I don't know, you know, like whatever, you know. But now is that, like you say, everybody bringing their iPads and laptops and tablets and shit. I'm like, God damn.
I'm talking about like high school and shit. Like
yeah. Fuck, bro. It's one of those days in which I feel like, damn, am I really that old? The fact that I'm complaining about a kid that goes to high school and has an iPad and I barely have a computer.
I feel like a geezer too. Fuck. Pandemic. I feel like the pandemic too, like, sucked a lot of life out of everybody. You know, that's why I feel like we need like fucking crazy ass like rebirth of crazy ass music or something. Like,
yo, nah, I'm with you at that. If anything, the pandemic put a hold on a lot of things, but it may impact it negatively on everyone. But there's definitely some goods behind it, you know. There's definitely, I can't just say, I could say 80% of the pandemic was bad, but there's a good 20%. There's definitely something good came out of it. One of the things I'm definitely grateful that came out of it is that I started my own podcast show.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right around when everybody's not doing anything and, you know, they're wondering what can we do. It's like, oh, let me just talk about it and rant about shit.
That's the best thing to do. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, a lot of people started off and also pushed through the pandemic, like within their careers. And I got to give my hats off to them because like that was just a crazy time for my family, you know?
I hear you, man. I hear you, man. It was definitely a wild time for everybody because it's sad because I remember at that time I couldn't see my fiance at the time because she worked in the health industry, and we basically went about like 3 months without seeing each other because she used to work in the COVID unit. Yeah, bro, 3 months without seeing her, you know, and we tried to FaceTime as much as possible, you know, and it was definitely the most difficult time of our lives, you know, and every day I was just, you know, praying that nothing happens to her, that everything's gonna be okay, you know, because she literally works with patients that has COVID. So it was just, you know, it was a scary time, but she was definitely, you know, thank God that at that moment she's definitely a germaphobe. So you can imagine how super protective she really was. Like you're talking about extra layers of mask plus a face shit. Gloves all around, hand sanitizers every fucking 5 seconds. It was, yeah, yo. And then afterwards, she's still stuck with it. And now I feel like, God damn, this is so annoying. Like shit, like I just touched this and I hand sanitized it before. Well, now it's dirty. So now you got a hand sanitizer. It's like, what the fuck?
I mean, it's better to be safe than sorry, like, to be honest.
Now you're just saying that because my girlfriend said the same thing too.
No, it's true though. Like
she said the same thing. Like it's like, well, better be safe than sorry. I'm like, I hate it when you say that to me because you're right. Yes, you're right. You're right. I don't want to deny it. I don't want to argue it. But goddamn, let me be dirty for a bit.
For real.
That sounded horrible. So let me ask you, like, talking about all of this, how did the 2020 pandemic affected you, you know, as a music producer? Were you still being a producer at that time, or you were just starting to find out?
No, I was already making music and stuff at the time. There was no shows going on. It kind of stopped. And then so live streams started to occur and they had more live streams and shit. And Yeah. So I did like the Minecraft live stream. That was pretty cool. They had like a Minecraft server.
Yeah.
They were doing like rhythm shows and stuff. And then there was another one I did for Green Room Studios. I did one for them too. So like yeah, I was involved. I was still like playing shows, you know?
No way. Yeah.
And then I was dropping music and stuff, but then like I took a hiatus in 2021
Okay.
just to like focus on myself and shit.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty good. I took a similar route by the time it was 2019 to 2020. I took a hiatus altogether and just like not making music at all and just like detach myself from that world altogether, you know, because it was at that point that, you know, that music itself felt like a job, like a passion to me anymore, or it died out for a bit. It just felt so much pressure for me that like, shit, I gotta do this because I got all these contacts, I got all these people, you know, like I gotta send these music to these labels and I gotta build a catalog and this and that. And it was just, and I gotta make it sound like this, like has to be unique and, you know, this and that. It was an unnecessary pressure and stress that I put myself into that I just couldn't take it anymore. And I was just like not happy overall. It was a time that was just like nothing is moving for me. Like I just like got out of my management contract and, you know, people are just being shady and other crap. And it's like, I'm done. Like, dude, I'm like, let me just take a pause for the cause, you know, and try to find the next big thing for me. You
I
know?
like that. The pause for the cause. That's hard.
Yeah. Pause for the cause, man. And that's where, you know, podcast came in together because that's where I literally felt like that's where I can actually put my frustrations and all my rants and everything that I've been wanting to say for the longest time, but I wasn't allowed at the time, or I can't because it was the wrong place at the wrong time. So I just let it all out. Like I just vomited a bunch of truths that happens in the industry on a regular basis. In fact, I've exposed a lot of business and a lot of things because of how they operate and because I felt like I'm tired to be quiet and have this knowledge that I wish I can give it upon to someone else so they don't have to go to deal with the same shit that I had. They maybe take a different route.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know, and I'm just doing that, you know, and I'm having these conversations with a bunch of people is like super fulfilling for me because I learn a lot from both ways. The person that I'm interviewing learns from me. I learn from the guests. Like it's mutual information that I can just put it out there publicly and have people understand, you know, the struggles, you know, and understand like this is the type of shit that we deal with every day. And, you know, if you want to be part of this, then know about that. These are all the shit that comes with it, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just putting it out there to let the people know, like, guys, like you don't have to do this. There isn't one way to be successful. No.
Yeah.
It's like
whatever you have an interest in, anything. It could literally be anything. As long as you give it your all and you put in time, you will see things happen.
I agree.
It's how it works. It's just how it works. You know, like there was a saying I heard a couple years back, and it was like when you put 10,000 hours into something, like you become the master of it. 10,000 hours with no breaks is around 2 years. So give or take, if you consider work and like life, you know, how many hours you really put into your craft, you know, and how you can like get better at it. I feel like if people took that into consideration and like really valued their time more, like, you know, things would maybe work out. But I don't know. Everybody's different.
No, but I like that take. I really do. Because it just definitely shows your growth.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like what Modus, I had a conversation with Modus yesterday, and
Mhm.
we were talking about video games. I asked them, I was like, hey, do you guys play video games? They both said no. And I used to not play video games. I just recently got into it. It's like having discipline, right? To like for your craft and like your art and what you love. And that like triggered something in my mind where I was just like, damn, that was some really good advice that I didn't know I needed. And discipline is the word. Like if you really want something, you have to discipline yourself to choose it over other things. And sometimes those things might be like close to you or whatever, like friends, family, like this, like you're putting your time to focus on sitting in front of a laptop and making music over, that. So there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it too. But I mean, like in the long run, like you will get your fruits of your labor. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I mean, if you work hard and play hard, man, everything's gonna come together, man. Like it's the hard work, dedication, the consistency, the persistence, the time and the patience is what everything will work out. If you keep those like type of morals, like it's gonna happen. Like you put that same energy on anything. It doesn't matter what. Put that energy on something that you're very passionate about, then everything's gonna come into fruition. It's just it takes time, and you have to be patient about it,
And to the viewers, if you don't know or you don't feel like you have a passion towards anything, a bunch of different things. You don't have to go into that deep, but it doesn't hurt to try new things in different categories of life. And like, there's just so much out there, and like it doesn't have to be career based. It could be for fun.
Hobbies, right?
By doing something for fun, you will possibly develop a passion for it. And I just would say try everything.
I agree, man. Hey, like I love a bunch of stuff to do. Like I thought that I love music a lot, but I really love podcasting more than making music. And I stick by it. And I have my own 9-to-5 job as well. But my 9-to-5 job is not, I don't consider it as a job. I consider it as part of my career, which I'm very lucky and thankful that I'm doing it. And I don't go every day by, like, oh, I gotta go to the job. Like, no, I go every day happily. It's like, oh, I'm doing something that I like and it's easy for me, and I get paid for it, that it's dope, and other hobbies that I do outside of it, playing video games, watching anime, reading mangas, playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively, like there's a bunch of stuff that I like to do, a bunch of stuff that makes me happy. Doesn't, like you said, doesn't have to be necessary, have to involve with monetary terms, like if it makes you happy, go for it. And if, like you said, if you don't have something that you like, but let me tell you this, it's hard for me to believe that there's people that say like, I don't know what I'm passionate about. And I say, bullshit. There's definitely something that you were passionate about. Like, let's circle back to when you were a child. What did you like a lot? I used to play action figures. Okay, we find something. You like playing with the action figures. Okay, you're old enough not to play it, but that's okay. You like to collect it. Why don't you just go ahead and look to these stores and see if you can find those action figures that you remember?
Like rare collectibles and stuff.
Yeah, like make it sound like an adventure, like something like, oh shit, where can I find this action figure, man? Where can I find this type of stuff?
And another thing to add on is like you don't necessarily have to just have one passion. Like there are multiple passions.
Yeah.
Like you could just like you said, just whatever makes you happy,
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters the most. Whatever makes you happy. And I always tell that everybody who was ever dealing with shit, like I feel for them. I feel for them because I've been on that road before, I had my own, demons that I had to battle on my own, and I had to remember myself, fuck, what is it that I like? What is it that made me happy? I want to go back to when I was making happy. I like playing Pokemon, the video game. Okay, let me just go back again playing Pokemon. I started playing all the fucking Pokemon games, man, religiously. religiously. I can't wait for this year's new Pokemon game.
Huh.
I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh again, man. Now I'm just like every week I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh, man. So it's like it's
I actually
stuff like that.
I actually started the Yu-Gi-Oh series on Netflix. I'm like rewatching it.
Oh, for real? The original.
Yeah, it's just dope. It's just sick.
Yo, I fuck with it. I fuck with it. There was like a couple of episodes that I was like, damn, I don't remember this part. Oh shit, good thing I'm watching then. And then there's a couple of adult jokes here and there. I'm like, oh fuck, that shit flew me right above me. I didn't realize that, huh?
Yeah,
it's fun.
Pretty funny.
I feel bad for Joy that he keeps being treated like shit the whole time, man.
Yeah, Yugi's an asshole. Oh god. But as a kid, it was so cool, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, do you remember back then when it was like the Saturday mornings that you had to watch on Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, the Jackie Chan adventures?
Oh yeah, I remember those days.
Yo,
I remember those days.
Those were fire. Yeah, those were
night Adult Swim. Or not Adult Swim. It was before Adult Swim came on. It was Toonami.
Toonami with the whole Dragon Ball Z series on it, man.
That's how I got into. That's when I first started Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yes,
Inuyasha.
Then the whole Gundam series in there. Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star. They had the fire stuff. Rurouni Kenshin, like some great classics, man. And obviously they're all dubbed. They were all dubbed. So obviously I enjoy some of the greatest voice actors out there. And I remember it was around that time that Naruto started to pop out as well. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
That bunch of ninja shit. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Yes, I want this. Absolutely. And now play all the fucking video games of Naruto, watch all the series, read about the mangas, and now it has died down to like the worst Naruto series that's ever produced, which is Boruto now. I highly tell people, like, do not watch this piece of shit. It's like,
yeah, I honestly, I haven't watched Shippuden. To be honest, I only watched the first Naruto.
You haven't watched Shippuden? Oh, dude, whenever you get a chance, watch it.
I have to.
Watch it, because that shit is fire.
Oh, yeah.
Just watch it until the very end, and you'll be satisfied, man. You'll be satisfied. I mean, the story itself just got much more better. Granted, there's like a lot of fillers in that Shippuden series, but it makes it up with all the main storylines, you know? I mean, I don't want to spoil it, to be honest. I don't want to spoil it to you, but you'll find out some hidden secrets that happen in Naruto that will give you more explanation of the reasoning why all the stuff that happened in the original series of Naruto happen, and they give you detailed explanations. They give you episodes around it, and you'll be like completely mindfucked as to why Naruto has the 9-tailed fox. Right. You'll be completely mindfucked as to why Sasuke is the only Uchiha survivor, quote unquote. You'll be mindfucked to why Kakashi is like, he's very hard on his students, you know?
Well, I'm gonna have to check it out. I have to see.
Dude, you satisfaction guaranteed.
For sure. I'll take your word for it.
I'm not gonna spoil anything more because I'll be ruining it for you, man. And I don't want that. I want you to actually fucking experience that. And you'll be like, oh fuck, where is this rabbit hole taking me?
Sure.
Yeah. Now I want to circle back to something that you mentioned earlier, in which you say that, you know, you're trying to build a catalog of music, you know. What's the whole purpose of you actually building the catalog? Are you actually building a catalog so you can actually have like music for you to release on a weekly or monthly basis, or you're having it so you could have stuff to give out for labels and whatnot?
Yeah, so with the whole catalog thing, it's a mix of both. It's more so that I have a lot of projects going on, and I'm just like trying to stack as much music as I can, for releases with artists like rappers and stuff like that. Um, I also have like just it's just a bunch of stuff, but like I am trying to have more electronic music of my own to play, so that way I can have an entire set of music that I'm actually happy with. But yeah, that's just what I'm doing.
And how long does it take you to actually to finish a project of yours for you to actually have those catalogs? So doesn't that make you like some sort of a pressure that you need to have this?
No, it's not. Well, it's not like deadlines or anything. Like I'm not like it's not like these projects are for labels or anything. This is all like freelance stuff.
Okay.
So this is stuff that I want to do with my friends and all that. So just collabing with people and having songs. Usually it's like singles or EPs, but just getting stuff ready for releases for like the next year, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then roll everything out.
And have you already had any experience with labels and whatnot?
Not any major labels, no. Besides like 40 Ounce Colt and I Am Audio.
Okay. So
Yeah.
normally what I would tell is that for anybody who wants to go into these major labels, I would say don't reach out to them. Let them reach out to you.
Oh yeah, for sure. You gotta make some noise. You gotta have a breakthrough track or like a breakthrough album or like have like an insane set or something. Like you gotta catch their attention one way or another.
Yeah, reach be on their radar in some
for sure.
capacity, because like I've talked to a lot of A&Rs, and I've also had my own experience with labels and whatnot, and most of the time, I'll sending music to these labels for their demo submissions is majority of the time it's a waste of time.
Yeah, it is.
It's basically they put that out so people can stop requesting that into their main inquiries. In reality, it's a spam folder.
That's why.
That's why. And don't take it from me. Take it from the other A&Rs that I've spoken before and other people who are very vocal about this. And someone that I know that is very vocal about labels and knows about these type of secrets. It could, like Mark Tengraves, Wyatt from Darnation, like those guys can tell you straight up, and they've been in the industry as long or longer than me, or have dealt much more in-depth stuff than I have, and they tell you, and you can listen to them. They talk about this all the time, like they say.
Yeah, for sure. I follow Mark.
Yeah, like you can ask him right away, and he'll tell you straight up. It's like it's not worth sending demos to these labels even if your music really is amazing and next level shit and it's like mixed and mastered to the T, like some
still doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. The A&Rs are not looking at the folder.
We're better off going independent and like building something from the ground up.
I agree. And I'm very supportive of that. I'm very like behind that whole being independent. In fact, I'm very also supportive of artists who create their own label prints. Like Funkcase does his DPMO, Bear Grylls does his root service. I guess you can say Incision on Subsidia. There was someone else as well that I had in my head that does this. But some other artists that decided to do its own label print. I support those guys a lot because they are listening. They're definitely listening. And if they believe that your shit is fire, your shit is fire. And they'll
for sure. Yeah.
And they'll leave it like that, But it if you ever want to release on a big label, best way to get to their attention, and this is like the most fastest way, is by sending some of your tracks to any artist that's around their roster. Ask them for a feedback. Say, hey, I'm looking for a feedback. I'm trying to do this style and this and that. See what's up. If they fuck with it, they're gonna fuck with it, and they're gonna play that song of yours, and they're gonna put it out there. And when they play it, I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, there's an A&R walking around listening to their artist, music, and they're like, "Yo, where'd you get that song? Is that song yours?" Is like, "Nah, got it from this kid. I got it from this guy. This guy's the fire shit." And that's when A&Rs try to look for you. Best way, and that's like the easiest way to get to. The other easiest way to get to is like, well, we're circle back again to fucking social media. Have fucking clout, have some sort of social media presence, have the fucking clout. And they look at you and I'm like, oh shit, you got a strong social media. Hey man, if you ever want to release music, you could come over. Business at that point, talent, you can go for the talent route, and then you can go to the business route.
Yeah, I mean, it's both really. Like, if you think about it, it goes hand in hand. Like, because someone told me, or a homie of mine told me yesterday, like, you could be a musician, and we were at a club, right? You could be a musician and accept the fact that you could just play down the street at like a dive bar. You can be an entertainer, which in that case, business does come in hand, because musician can mean a lot of things. You could be a touring musician. You could be a home musician, like just in your private life, or you could be like one of those bar musicians. You know what I'm saying? And like, I guess it really comes down to like being an entertainer. So like the people who are running social media are entertainers for sure.
Yeah,
it's just crazy because like, I don't know, I have no words for all this shit.
Nah, you're good, man. You're good. Like, it's all good right there, and it's true, man. You have to be a bit of a entertainer, to grab people's attention and get that out there, to have people gravitate to you.
Exactly.
It sucks, because like shit, like we have to use social media for this, but unfortunately, some of these business, it requires your social media, which is why I prefer to go the independent route. And if I ever want to release a track on a label, it's not really an end goal of mine anymore. It's more of a, okay, cool, I did it. Even though I've already done it before, but I'm like, okay. At least I really said it on these big labels. Satisfaction comes first when I actually finish a track and release it, and I see like, oh shit, people resonated with it. That's where it comes to, but not anymore with the labels, Label, if I get a shot on a label, the one label that I do ever want to get a shot at is probably Monster Cat. That'll be sick.
That'd be really dope.
Yeah.
Monster Cat's a really good label.
And I fucking love it, man, because of the music that brings out of Monster Cat, bro. It's just so fucking dope, and it's like the biggest multi-genre EDM label in the whole world. Like, I don't know any other label that brings dubstep, drum and bass, house, trance, hardstyle, trap, future bass, melodic, future, like you name it. It has a little bit of everything, and it's still good. Like, it's fire shit. So it's like, that's like the end goal for me. If I ever want to, say I want to release on a label, it has to be Monster Cat.
And it's cool because Monster Cat has thing with like Rocket League, right?
Yeah.
So like you could possibly get your music on Rocket League, which is cool if you get signed to them,
That'll be fucking dope. Having a bunch of gamers playing my music.
Dude, you should make that a goal of yours, bro. And like really like grind out some shit.
It doesn't hurt. It's just that music right now is not my main focus, my main priority. Podcast is,
Right.
But I am definitely I started out a project, an EP project that I feel like Monster Cat would be the only label that would have fucked with it, because this project itself, I don't think if I send this type of project to another label, I don't think they'll be able to fuck with a lot. Not because of, it's more because I think it's more because of the song selections and the multi-genre of song selections. It's all dubstep. It's a dubstep EP, but the dubstep EP itself is, you got your Tira dubstep, and then you got your color bass, melodic dubstep, future rhythm shit, happy stuff, and it's and it's like a very unique EP, which some songs go along with each other. You know, they all interconnect with each other. Like this happy song goes with this tear out song, and this tear out song goes with this happy song, and then so on and so on. It's telling a story.
Yeah.
Basically, it's basically telling a story, and then I'll end it up with a happy drum and bass song, you know. So I started that project, it's been a while, but it's like I already know the vision of it, and I already know how to put it, and I already have the names of each of the tracks, and I know what genres are there, and I feel like Monster Guy is probably the only one that they'll be able to get it, but. I decided, like, I set myself, like, if Monster God doesn't want to, sign these songs, that's fine by me. I'm not gonna let it down.
Right.
I'm just gonna release it on my own, and I'm gonna, spend hundreds of dollars on marketing it, I'm promoting it, and making sure that it's like one of the biggest shits ever released, independently.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just stopped altogether that I need, labels approval for my music to get released. Like besides of the business aspect, I feel like, because that was one of the reasons me as a producer was struggling a lot, because I was like, I want the approval of the label, and I usually didn't get it. And then I get discouraged whenever a label tells me no. And I felt like, fuck, then that means my music suck. But then when I sent it over to a bunch of my artist friends who are established people as well, they listen to my music and they're like, nah, bro, this music is fire. Like, I'm playing this song of yours. Nah, like, this is actually good. This is like good. Now I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? These people are playing my music and these labels don't even want to bother look at me. So I have like that, like, okay, I don't really need the label's approval to, to like my music. So I decided to, like, I'm not gonna go ahead and put that goal right there as like, I want to release as a label. And better person who's have said this over time is and Robbie Infinite. Shout out to those guys, man. I love those guys a lot. And those guys actually opened my eyes even further that I already had, but they were like, I was just like blown away with some of the stuff they told me. I'm like, oh shit, you were right, I just like, and I'm not saying this as if like, no, you shouldn't not, you should not have a label to be your end goal or be goal, or be your goal. Like, no, I'm not saying this. I don't want to discourage anybody, because if there's somebody out there who wants to release their music in this certain label and they want to do everything in their power to do so, be my guest, go for it. Because if that's what satisfaction that brings you over, go for it, man. So I'm not that person anymore. I actually have other priorities and other stuff that I want to get to.
For sure, yeah.
And podcasting is the key to get me all the stuff that I want to. And I'm going to do it through that.
Hell yeah. More power to you, bro.
Absolutely. One of the things I definitely want to talk to you is more about your favorite projects, man. Have you had any favorite projects that you have recently?
So I actually have like a few collabs going on with Sweet Tooth right now, which are pretty fun to work on.
That's fire.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. And I have a collab with my boy Tremor, which is pretty sick. We're about to finish that.
Oh shit, you had a collab with Tremor too?
Yeah, that's the homie.
That guy is fire, man. I met her a couple of times through online, man. Dude is sick. He gave me one of the sickest feedbacks of one of my tracks, man. I like that dude.
You should get him on here, bro. He's easy to talk to.
Oh, I actually have him personally on Facebook, so you're absolutely right. I should actually reach out to him and see if he's down for it. It was Trevor, right?
Tremor.
No, I know Tremor, but what was his actual name?
Andrew.
Thank you. Andrew Phillips, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I keep forgetting a lot of people's names. I usually just go by, your artist name. That's how I know you. Boom, there you go. But yeah, dude, that's actually sick. So you got Tremor and Sweet Tooth coming along in your way.
Yeah. I have some others, but I don't really want to like say anything yet. I kind of want to just pop off.
Okay,
You feel me?
keep it under the reps. I like that.
Yeah, but to answer your question, if I have any favorite projects, I think my favorite projects right now that I've ever made was probably Candy Mountain. So,
and why is that?
well, Candy Mountain was like one of those tracks where I sampled Charlie the Unicorn, which is like an old ass YouTube video that was popping when I was a kid. And it's just like it was like a meme. You feel me? And yeah, I don't know. It was just, it was like home to me. And then Titan Stomp was probably the last song my dad heard before he passed away. And so that was like, he fucked with it heavy. So it's probably my two favorite ones.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Shit happens, you know?
Yeah, I hear you on that, man. I hear you loud and clear. Wow. Take me a little bit more about your creative process when you're doing your music. You know, what is it that you do when you open up the session and you say, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and start doing this, or I'm gonna start doing that?
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll like open up Ableton and I'll start with like drums, right? I'll like process my drums, make them sound nice and punchy, and then I'll focus on a melody, and then I'll pretty much just like compose a song from intro to finish, you know? I don't really like working on sections or like drops per se anymore, and then working on the intro. I feel like it makes more sense to just write the song from the beginning all the way to the end, so that way it's like cohesive in a way, you know, like, and you do more in like, so I like to work in like bars of 3, and I like developed this from working in FL Studio. I like to write like 3-bar melodies and then like keep going, and then like, I don't know, it's nice.
That's actually pretty interesting because like I'm like quite the opposite. I usually start off writing down the drop, and whatever I can get out of the drop, everything just goes, everything writes out for its own after I do the drop. So it's actually pretty interesting how you started out right from the intro and started working some melodies, and then everything will just write itself.
It's always important to have a really good intro because one, the first, I forgot how many seconds it was.
Like the first 5 seconds or the first 7,
that has to captivate you, you know? You already know. So it's like, but yeah, like intros are important.
Yeah,
intros are really important.
Absolutely. and what's the creative process when it comes of you working with collaborations? You know, how do you actually go approach that, and where do you even start?
Usually one of us will have something started off, or we'll start something from scratch. So like I'll start a project and then I'll send it to someone, and then they'll work on it and then send it back. Or we'll just get together and work on shit.
And how often do you actually do your hip hop beats and other side projects? You know, like I know that you making dubstep itself, you know, you already have your process, but how's that any different when you started making hip hop beats and trance and hardcores or any other genres that you're doing?
It's the same process. It's just a different style. It's like with electronic music, like the sounds you hear are like would be like the rapper's vocals. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, so like in hip hop music, the main element would be the rapper or the artist, you know? And then in electronic music, it's the synthesis, the sound design, and the rhythm primarily, you know?
Did you find any difficulty when you actually started out this other genres?
It's just all music to me. Like, you know, to some extent, you could write any genre you want, you know? Like it's all like tempo based. I feel like I have a very like broad, I don't know if it's broad would be the word, but like a certain way to look at it. And it just makes sense. Like the way I make dubstep, I could like do it in the same thing for another genre, you know? I really don't know how to explain it.
No, yeah, you're doing good, man. And did you always had that musical background since you were little, or you just started this not too long ago?
In middle school, I think is when I picked up my first instrument. Well, yeah, so we had a cover band in our middle school, and we covered like AC/DC and like fucking
Fire.
Metallica and
Fire.
Journey, all that shit, you know, like the bangers.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how to play the drums, and I really wanted to play the drums. So there was someone I knew that knew the yearbook director, which was also the after school band guy.
Damn.
And so he was like, come to band practice. And I was like, for sure. And then I hopped on the drums and I didn't know jack shit. But there was a drummer there that year and he showed me how to play. And from there, I just literally every day I would like air drum and just like learn where the drum set is like at. And I would just like memorize it. And then the next day I went in confident and I played the fucking songs, and then I joined the band. And then that was it. And then I halfway into that, I wanted to learn how to play the bass. So then I bought a bass and then I played the bass for the band too. And I guess it all started off in middle school. And then from there in high school, like it just was always with me. And then as going out, like I couldn't get a drum set where I live. So I just got a laptop and then started producing and became a one-man band, you know?
That's fun.
I don't know. It's just, yeah, I guess it's just always been around.
I mean, that's actually pretty dope that you do have that music element in your background, and then you're having like had the ability to actually be the one-man army and write down a bunch of other musics and have that on any different genres. I mean, it all started with the drums. The drums can actually take you on any genres, because guess what? In any band, a lot of people say is that the leader of the band is the singer, but a lot of people don't realize is like the actual leader is the drummer, because the drummer is the one that starts the beat, and then everyone else follows the drummer's beat. Take that away, they can easily get off beat, you know,
like a metronome.
Exactly. And so like it's very interesting that you were able to take some of those, you know, learning aspects and apply it into what you're doing right now. How do let me actually rephrase this. Do you actually believe in writer's block?
I believe in burnout. What you may think is writer's block is probably just burnout.
And what do you do when you have it, you know?
Go live your life and forget about it. Forget about your music. Forget about the end game. Just go live your life. Go outside. Me personally, like I just came back from a bike ride with my homie, and that's like, to me, like that is the best form of like release. You know, you're just like going as fast as you can on this fucking bike, and it's like that you get your mind off of shit. You know, and I feel like having that sort of activity in your life is good because. And I think a lot of the reason why people go to the gym too is like there's just that release of like whatever, like weight, like emotions, anything. It could be anything, stress from financial shit, life, whatever, right? Just weighing on you, and you go do that shit. You come back, you're gonna write something good. Like that's just how it is, bro. We're humans. Like we need to be outside. We need to live. We're not robots, you know.
We're not robots.
Be writing music like they're robots, and it's crazy.
Bro, a lot of people that I know are fucking terminators when it comes to writing music. Like good friends of mine, Stavage artist, fucking Nitty Gritty, one of my homies, shout out to him. He's a fucking terminator. That guy just don't know when to sleep. And that guy just writes music out of fucking thin air. I can give him a fucking fart sound and he'll just flip that fart sound into a fucking song.
See, like, and that also comes with years of the craft. Like once you get to a certain point, you'll be able to like write whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you'll be able to know how to do it. And like a lot of that is like learning the program too. Like once you learn how things work and how they actually work versus how you learn them on YouTube, that's when things start to get real, you know?
And do you actually feel like you're any closer to that, or you feel like you're just still, you know, in the training wheels?
I feel like I'm always going to be in the training wheels as long as I'm doing this, because with music, there's always something new you can learn. And, you know, from everybody, from every artist you work with, or like if you just go on YouTube and you see like a new post from some YouTuber about a method he learned, like it's always good to learn and be intrigued to it. So I think, to answer your question, I'm always on those training wheels in a way, because it's like you're always learning. You feel me? And to say that I'm on that level of confidence is not true. Even the big guys are still learning shit. Like they got big breaks, but who's to say that they were master producers before it or not? Right. I don't know, but it's just bold assumption.
Bro, of course, of course. And when it comes to sound designing, do you actually believe that sound designing is a luxury or a necessity for a producer?
Sound design can mean a lot of things. It can mean synthesis, or it can mean creating an ensemble of sounds that fit together. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like every band member has a certain guitar or bass they play to make it sound smooth together. When you're writing a song, you're picking elements that make sense and fit, right? So in a way, that is sound design, you know? Right. Synthesis is a whole other ball game. And I don't think it's absolutely necessary, but it's good to utilize it and to learn it.
Interesting.
If that's what you're talking about.
I'm more referring to that, you know, big debate that a lot of, you know, bass producers like to talk about shit about sound designing where, like, you know.
I mean, I guess it depends. Like, it can, like, because you can make your basses and stuff, or you can sample stuff. And
right. Yeah. But I'm just getting out of it. If you as a producer, do you believe it like it's a necessity for you to actually know and learn how to be a sound designer versus other house producers don't see it that way. They look at it as a luxury because for them it's all about the chords and the melodies, you know? They can just have an entire song and it's all being preset, you know?
I mean, I guess it's a necessity for dubstep and stuff, you know? I don't really know what the house guys are doing right now.
Just presets basically is what they're doing.
Oh, like using presets and stuff. Yeah, you should definitely learn how to sound design.
Yeah. Well, my man, we got a few more questions and we can wrap this out, okay?
All right, sure.
This one is very simple. Why is it that you chose LazyFlex as your artist name?
There's 2 reasons.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna just say 1 reason. I was a Borgore fan. In high school, like old, like back in the day, Guided Relaxation came out. I was like losing my mind.
Yeah,
that shit was fire. But he had this song called Flex, right?
Yeah, I remember the song.
On the song, he says, "On a lazy flex, I'm on a lady flex. Never at the gym. Every day I'm having sex." So I was like, LazyFlex sounds cool, so I used it. And that was it. That's literally how I got my name.
That's fucking fire.
Yeah.
Give the shout out to Borgore, man, for giving you know, the inspiration, yo.
Yeah.
So what has been your greatest accomplishment up to now?
Surviving.
Damn, okay.
Just kidding.
Sure.
my greatest accomplishment. Man, I don't even know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. It hasn't happened yet.
Coming soon. That's what it is.
Theater near you.
Yeah, you know it. You know it.
Okay.
All right. So what are you currently doing and what do you hope to accomplish by it?
What am I currently doing? Going back to the whole stacking music thing. Still gonna stack up a bunch of tunes and roll it out in the next year and just really have a plan this time, you know?
Okay.
Not just like loosely released songs, like really have a plan. It's gonna be sick.
Well, we can end this with this one last question, all right?
Sure.
Let's just say that you're walking down the street and then all of a sudden a UFO pops out of nowhere. And they come to you and say, yo, LazyFlex, we need your help. Because you and only you are the only one who can help us with this, man. And you're like, all right, dope, let's go. He's like, all right, before you come into our ship, just let you know, you'll be out for a while. We don't know until you come back. Here's a piece of paper. Write 3 pieces of advice that you will give to someone. What are those 3 pieces of advice?
Don't stress. Everything's going to be okay. Don't be so hard on yourself because life is short, and love unconditionally.
Fucking fire, man. Fucking fire. I love it, man. Well, dude, thank you very much for coming over to the show, man. It's an honor or privilege for you to come over, man.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Anytime you want to come over and just kick it, man, just let me know and we can do that, man. Before you leave, plug yourself out. Let the people know where they can follow you and expect what's next coming. All right.
Yeah, you can follow me at LazyFlex on everything. And just stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
All I can say.
That's all you can say. All right, man. Thank you very much for coming over to the show. And thank you guys for listening. And remember, every week it's a brand new episode and a brand new topic. So always remember to like and subscribe and hit the bell for notification.
Subscribe.
Absolutely. YouTube.com/the Lone Wolv Podcast. Or you can also check it out at lonewolfpod.com. That's Lone WOLV pod.com. And check all my latest episodes. You can find the audio version at SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio at Wolves and Music or the Lone Wolv Podcast. Comment down below. Let me hear your thoughts. Share your experiences. If you guys got a specific topic that you want me or LazyFlex to cover, please let us know in the comments down below, and we'll do our best to talk about it on the next episode. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys at the next one. Peace.